Hello, welcome. Denise here, and this is a practice all about strengthening the shoulders. So we're going to be using various yoga postures, and a lot of them will be familiar to you, but we're going to have this focus of strengthening the shoulders on what we're doing today. So you will need a strap, or you could use a belt or a scarf or a towel or anything like that, okay? That's basically all of the equipment you'll need. And we're going to basically learn some of the most important things you can do with your shoulders if you're trying to strengthen them. So if you've had an injury or you're just trying to get stronger, you know your shoulders need to get stronger, one of the most important things you can do for your shoulders is organize and activate them properly, okay? And that means we're going to do this action. So put your hands up in front of you, spread your hands wide, and do this action with me. See how my elbows are coming in and my hands are flaring out? When we do this, this is called external rotation at the shoulder. So anytime you are working with resistance, even working with a strap, or when you're on the floor for a table pose or downward facing dog or plank pose or chaturanga, it's dial the hands away from each other. So you're creating this energization. This is external rotation at the shoulder. It's how we stabilize the shoulder. Okay? Very, very important to keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to show you a little secret. If you've got cranky shoulders, what we're going to do is find our deltoid tuberosity, or tubercle, actually, not tuberosity. So if you can see where your deltoid, this shoulder cap muscle is, you've got a little divot there, and I want you to squeeze your fingers onto that and then move your arm around like this. Okay, so I'm rotating my arm and I'm really squeezing, and then I'm going to hold my arm still and rub that. And it probably doesn't feel very good, but it's going to make shoulder movement feel a lot better. So this is a little trick that I learned in when I was teaching massage school from one of my colleagues. So really find that this is really helpful if you have cranky shoulders. Let's do it on the other side. So we're going to find that tubercle, squeeze it with your fingers, move your arm around. Probably doesn't feel good. You've got to really squeeze it hard. And then you're going to stop moving your arm and just rub it, rub it, rub it. Rub, rub, rub. And then you can stop that, okay? Now, one more thing before we get started. We're going to take our arms out wide from our body. And now I want you to think about turning your thumbs back as far as they'll go. It's not really coming from here, it's coming from here. So feel that in your shoulders. I want you to go all the way back. So thumbs reaching back, arms are back. You're trying to find that farthest corner you can find. Once you find it, then you're going to press into it a couple of times. Press, 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 and one more time, press, and then hold. Thumbs, press, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then let's take it in the other direction. Okay, so now we're going to spin the whole arm right from the shoulder into internal rotation now. So thumbs are going to reach for the farthest corner you can get, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to reach and reach, just these little end range rotation. Press and press and press. This is also that our shoulders are in a happier state before we start trying to strengthen them, okay? Press, 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 and then you're going to hold and you're trying to reach those thumbs and spin the shoulder socket and relax that. Relax the arms. All right, pick up your strap. I suggest you have it about this length, okay? I've folded mine in 4 layers. So now I'm going to hold the strap and I'm going to pretend, so if you rather use a towel or something, that will probably work for you. I'm going to pretend this is a cloak, and I'm going to throw this cloak over my shoulders and then bring it around. I'm going to throw it over my shoulders and bring it around. Okay? So at first, you might want to keep this small if you've had, cranky shoulders. Keep your elbows bent a lot and just make it small. Just kind of look around. How does that feel? If it feels okay, make it a little bit bigger. And I want you to see if you can hold your trunk, the trunk of your body, hold your spine braced, okay? Brace your spine. Don't let your spine move around a whole lot. Just let the shoulder girdle move around. And then we'll take it in the other direction. Again, I call this scouring the shoulders. We're exploring and scouring the shoulder joint, getting it to lubricate itself And it also helps us know where the cranky positions are. All right, so that's our shoulder circles. And I recommend you do these all the time, every day for sure. Let's put our strap down and just put it right here. And then we'll begin a little bit of yoga, if you will, reaching the arms up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, step your left foot back and let your right foot will be in front. Your knee is coming down onto the knee, but if you need to pad it, please feel free to do that. Let's pick up our strap again and bring the strap over the head. So remember, our focus is shoulders, but we're going to get a little bit more work done too. Pull both legs into the pelvis here and engage pelvic floor. So you won't engage pelvic floor if you're not pulling your legs into the pelvis, so do that first. And then we're going to bow the body over to the right side. Pull on the strap, bow the body to the left side. Pull on the strap, go back to the right. Remember that we're pulling the strap this way so that we're externally rotating at the shoulder. That's our stable, happy position for the shoulder. Let's go back to the left. And now one more time, we'll bring it up, go to the right, pull on the strap, go to the left, pull on the strap, keep drawing the legs into the pelvis. Let's come up and reach back. Beautiful, and put the strap down. Hands on the mat, inhale, step back to downward facing dog. Let's talk about downward facing dog for a moment. So we'll apply our organization and activation here. Press down into the hands, energize, like you're dialing the hands away from each other. Okay, so that's very important. It pulls my shoulders into a better position, away from my ears, rather than this kind of choked up position, which uses a lot of neck muscles. When I externally rotate, then I use the muscles around my shoulder blade. Now let's step the left foot through. Let your right knee come down, pick up your strap. We'll bring the strap overhead. And remember, we're externally rotating as we hold this strap. And we're pulling on the strap, like we want to stretch it, but of course it doesn't stretch. Then pull both legs into the pelvis, merge the energy at the pelvic floor, feel that through pelvic floor and lower belly. Even in your inner mind's eye or through your sensory pathway, connect lower belly to pelvic floor. All right, we got it? Then we're going to go over to the left side, pull, pull, pull. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, other side. Pull on the strap. Again, bring it up and take it to the other side. Again, bring it up and exhale, pull, pull, pull. Pull the legs into the pelvis too. Gather it up and take it to the other side. And this is our final one, up through center and over to the right. Let's bring it up to the center again. Lean back, pull, and exhale. Let's bring the strap down, step your foot forward, inhale, reach, and exhale, folding forward. Inhale, take your strap with you, come all the way up, reach through your fingers, and exhale, bring your hands down. So now we're going to go into a standing moon pose. So once again, the strap will be held like this. We're dialing the hands away from each other, and we'll stand in Tadasana. So great toes point straight ahead, feet can be a little bit apart. Energize through your legs, make sure your knees are unlocked. Dial the energy outward, so it's as though you want to dial your feet away from each other, but they don't move. Feeling that tone on the thighs and the seat and the inseams of your legs. Let's carry that energy up the center of the body, inhale, and exhale over to the left side. So press down into your right foot and kind of pull a little more strongly with your right hand. Okay, and you're keeping it steady on the left. Steady your breath too. I recommend Ujjayi breathing for this practice. So while we're here, let's notice our tendencies. Do I tend to let my rib cage pop forward, or can I contain my core? That is very, very beneficial to your shoulders, okay? Contain the core. Let's bring it up. And let's take it to the other side. So this is very important because spinal position really influences your shoulder function. So if you have cranky shoulders, you're not going to be able to get away with having your spine in a bad position. Okay, so really notice that. Pull down with your lower ribs, contain the core. Let's take one more breath over here, and we'll come up. Pull on the strap, and then we'll release it down. We're going to bring the strap behind us now. And now I recommend that you turn your thumbs out as you hold the band. And I'm sure your shoulders are already feeling it, so good for you for sticking it out. If you easily can get your hands in this position, you can have your hands closer together here. If it feels better out here, go ahead and use it out there, okay? Whatever suits you best. So we have our hands organized. Slightly bend the knees, step back with your left foot. It's not a long stance, and we want our feet on separate tracks. Going into Parsvottanasana. Press into both feet, lift the heart, and then exhale, bringing your body forward, pausing at halfway. So I want you to think about pushing through your right foot to send your right hip back, grounding down through your left foot. And then from that grounded lower body, stretch your heart forward out of the pelvis. And then you can exhale and forward fold if you like. Notice that now my hands are pulling on the strap. I'm going to make sure my shoulders are away from my ears. And then if it feels okay in my body, I'll see about taking the arms away from my body a little bit more. But I want to keep pulling on the strap. Keep it steady. Take one more breath here. And push down into your feet. Stretch your heart forward as you raise the body up. And then we'll step the left foot through. Let's shake out the arms. Oh boy, shake, shake, shake. Shake out this one. And then we'll go into our position again. So the strap goes behind the body. We're turning our thumbs out. Slightly bend the knees and step back with the right foot. Feet are on separate tracks, and we're pressing down into our feet and dialing the energy outward. Lift the heart, and then take your body forward. Press through this left foot to send the left hip back, and then ground into your right foot. Inhale, stretch your heart forward again. Exhale, forward and down. Pulling on the strap, energizing through your arms. This is going to strengthen your arms. It's going to improve their ability to stabilize in postures, and they're going to feel happier. Let's keep pulling on the strap. We'll just take one more full cycle of Ujjayi breath here. Press down into your feet. Start to stretch your heart forward as you bring your body up. And let's step to the front of the mat. Once again, we're going to shake out the arms. This is what we call mobilizing, okay? Mobilizing the joint helps to lubricate it, and it relaxes the muscles around it too. So next we're going to try something very challenging, and that is going to be a standing balancing pose. So you'll be surprised to see how a very strong arm position actually makes it easier to balance in a single leg standing balance too. So once again, we're back to this external rotation here. Standing on your left foot, we'll toe back with the right foot. Okay, inhale, bring your arms up and start to pull on the strap. As you do that, I want you to feel down the sides of your body, how you're activating all the way down the sides of your body. And this energy you're using with your arms and shoulders is coming right into the core of your body. Okay, feeling that, and then feeling into your left foot. Draw the energy of that left foot, dial it out, pull it into the core of the body, and then you can start tipping your body forward. So it's very important to be organized in your standing legs, so you've got to dial it out. But as you're using the strap, you're increasing the kind of energy and tension in the body, which is going to help you stabilize. So it might surprise you that it's a bit easier to stabilize. Even though you're working really hard, you're not really losing your balance. So keep your breath super steady. Keep pulling on the strap, and let's slowly begin to take it up. And then we'll bring the arms down. Shake that out, and we'll prepare for the other side. So standing on the right foot, inhale, bring the arms up, pull on the strap, and toe back with your left. Good. Remember to establish your foot to core first. So dial the energy out, pull that energy into the core. Feel like you're pulling the energy from the arms into the core too. And then you can start tipping forward. Steady your breath. Pull on the strap, pull on the strap, pull on the strap. Steady, steady breathing. Uniting the body in one piece here. And let's slowly bring the body up and bring those arms down. Ooh, you do remember that this is a shoulder strengthening practice, right? So we have to fatigue the shoulders in order for them to get stronger. So it's all to the good. Let's put the strap down. Inhale, your arms are probably going to feel light. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, let's take a half lift and put your hands to the block. Just step your feet back and bring your knees down. We're going to do two different versions of push-ups. So if you're a yogi, you're very familiar with this position for Chaturanga, basically. Okay, so let's do Chaturanga first. And feel free to do this from the knees, or if you're already quite strong in the shoulders, do it from your toes. Totally up to you. We want to practice this external activation right here. Okay, shift your hips forward, dial hands away from each other, and lower. So as we dial the hands away from each other, it's going to help the elbows tuck in. Okay, keep your heart out over your hands. Hand position is pretty important. If you're too far back, you'll be at a mechanical disadvantage, and same thing if you're too far forward. So please experiment and find out, where do I feel stable? That's the right question to ask. Dial hands away from each other, stretch your heart forward, and let's come up. Let's do 3 more. Slowly, slowly, and bring it up. And what I would call this, if it wasn't part of Chaturanga, I would call this a tricep push-up, because I'm using a lot of triceps. And those are the muscles on the back of my upper arm to accomplish this. I'm not using my chest as much. Okay, last one. Let's rest a little bit, but we're going to take active rest. So as we go back into child's pose, I want you to take your hands onto the pinky edge, press down, get the hands forward as far as you can, press down into the sides of your hands, and energize like you're trying to pull your hands back towards your body. So you should feel the muscles around the shoulders, especially under here, are pretty active right now. Pull the hands. So they might even start to slide on the mat a little bit, but try not to let that happen because you're pushing down into the mat so firmly. But you're pulling, use your pulling muscles. So far, all we've been doing is pulling, except in the Chaturanga push-up we were just doing. Pulling is very important because we don't naturally do a lot of pulling in our yoga practice, so very, very beneficial for us. So now let's look at the other push-up. More of what people think of as like a fitness kind of push-up. It's usually done with hands wider apart, and there's more of an internal rotation. Now, try this one just from the knees as well, unless you're used to doing them. And now the elbows are going to go out. See, it's totally different angle. Now, as you work with this push-up, you're using your big pectoral muscles in the chest and the anterior deltoid. So this is quite different. Using a little bit of biceps too, a little bit of triceps as well, but not so much emphasis there. So you're actually using more muscles to do this kind of push-up than you are to do a yogi push-up. Okay, but the problem is, if you're using this kind of push-up in your yoga practice, you're not in a good position to take upward facing dog if you use that push-up. So just be aware of that. If you take a yogi push-up, you'll be able to go into upward facing dog from there. If you're doing more of the fitness type of push-up, you're not going to be, you are not you just can't even do it, or I can't anyway, to go into upward facing dog. So if you're ever wondering about the difference, those are some of the differences, okay? So let's take another break. We'll go back into our child's pose, our active rest here, pressing down into the sides of the hands and energizing like you're pulling your hands toward your body. You're pulling. You might even imagine yourself doing a chin-up or something. You're pulling, pulling, pulling. Give it one more big breath. Very good. All right, and then relax, and you can come up. Now we're taking Vasisthasana. So for this posture, we're going to practice taking hollow body first. So in hollow body, we need to organize the shoulders like we've been doing, dialing the hands away from each other. And here's where you can see what I mean by hollow body. So if I was just taking regular upper push-up position, I would want to be about here with a fairly straight body. Hollow body is a bit more, it's a bit more overcorrected, upward through the belly. From here, press down into your right hand, right foot, and come onto the outer edge of your right foot, and then you can bring your left hand up. Now, options are to bring the knee down or bring the top foot down. Please feel free to experiment with that, okay? So for this first round, we'll just stay here for 5 minutes, but you know I'm joking, you know I am. Kind of this hollow body, we want to arc up a little bit if we can. Dialing this hand out, dialing this hand out. Come down when you need. One more big breath here. Very good. Bring the hand down. And then you're taking that hollow body again. Hollow body is uniting the body as one piece, from hands through arms, shoulders, core, toes, legs, hips, core. Rock over onto the outside of left foot and bring right hand up. Dial it out, dial it out. Lift, lift, lift. Remember option, step down or knee down, and keep lifting. And one more big breath here. And let's bring it down. And let's bring ourselves into child's. We'll take our active rest pose again, kind of karate chopping the hands, but you're pressing down and pulling back, okay? Using these muscles here. Very, very important, pulling muscles. Remember, we need to add pulling to our practice. Okay, we're gonna take Vasisthasana again, very exciting, and this time we'll do some repetitions. Okay, so as we come back into hollow body, we're gonna rock over onto the side, and let's just have hand to hip, and just see if you can bring your hip down and maybe lift it up a little bit. And if the foot position is a bit awkward, I notice it's a bit awkward on me, I'm gonna step my left foot down so I have a bit more stable feet, and then I can concern myself with my shoulder more. So just a little drop, a little lift, one more time, and a little lift. Good, let's try the other side. So you can come through your hollow body position. This is really good to reunite the body. Then rock over onto the side. Organize your feet. Maybe hand stays to the hip. Well, it's fine to take it up too if you want. And you're working with dropping and lifting. Dropping and lifting. Just 2 more. And lift. And 1 more. You know you can do it. You've got 1 more in you. And push, push, push. And let's come back to our hollow body position. And then in hollow body position, we'll press back to downward facing dog. Bring your weight into your feet as much as possible by pressing through your hands. Keep dialing your hands away from each other. Super strong Ujjayi breathing here. Super strong. Next, as you're ready, you're going to look between your hands, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold. Take your strap and come all the way up. Reach through your fingers and exhale, bring it down. So we'll do a nice little standing balance series now. So take your strap and tuck your wires in. It's going to be unfolded now. And you're going to give yourself a fair bit. You have to experiment with how long you need this to be. So stand on your left foot and ground into your left foot. So we want to dial the energy outward like we've been doing. Collect the energy from the inseam of your leg into pelvic floor and lower belly. And then you're just going to put your foot against the strap. Now, for now, we're not actually putting a lot of pressure on that, okay? Just give yourself a moment to get your arms in position. Do you see how my hands are lower than my shoulders? So I'm not up here, okay? I've got my hands down and my elbows up, all right? Now, stiffen your leg and pull on the strap. So this is for our shoulders, but you're gonna notice that doing it like this will help you stay in a single leg standing balance for quite a while. Pull, pull, pull. Pull, try to gather between your shoulder blades. And try to keep your shoulders down, elbows reaching up. And one more time. Good, and now elbows come in, stretch your leg forward. It's fine if your knee is bent a little bit, no problem. Let's see if we can stay here. Pull back, and now if you're really wobbling on your legs, put your back against a wall. It's gonna be just as effective. Push through your foot, pull with the strap, gather between your shoulder blades, get your elbows back a little further, and let's release. Whoo, shake it out. Look at how steady we can be when we activate the whole body like that. It's amazing. So now let's lift and spread the toes, root down into the right foot, spin the whole leg outward. Want to really feel that toning in the thighs and the seat up through the center of the body from pelvic floor. Okay, so if you feel like you have that foot to core connected, then we'll just bend the knee and put the strap against the foot. Remember our position now, hands are down, elbows are up, okay? Not higher than your shoulders though. Okay, keep it there, stiffen your leg, stiffen the standing leg too, and pull. Lift your elbows up, shoulders down, elbows up, shoulders down, elbows up. Corners of your mouth are up. One more breath. And tuck your elbows in. Straighten your leg if you can. Even if it's bent, it's fine. Just make it stiff. Okay, pull. Gather between your shoulder blades. Push the foot into the strap. Pull the elbows back. Pull, pull, pull. Keep your heart lifted, crown lifted. One more breath. And let's release. Whoo, shake it out. Okay, now let's keep the feet a little bit apart. And now we're gonna mobilize the shoulders, but a very strong mobilization. So this will be almost done here. So let's keep the wrists pretty straight. You're gonna have to experiment again with the length of the band. I want you to be able to keep tension on the band, okay? So we'll begin with a big inhalation. Tension the band. As you exhale, keep tensioning. You're trying to make that band longer. Drop the arms behind you. Now, if you have a shoulder injury you're working with or something, you might not be able to do this. So what you would do is just work with coming up and down within the range that you can, okay? Promise me. Let's try it again. Keep pulling on the strap. Inhale, coming up, coming up, coming up. You want to be able to keep the tension on the strap without bending your wrist, okay? And pull it down. Keep pulling on the strap, pull on the strap, pull on the strap, pull on the strap, pull on the strap. Again, this is another pulling action. These are really helpful for us to balance our yogi shoulders. Inhale, pull on the strap, pull on the strap, pull on the strap, pull on the strap. And we'll do it one more time, okay? Coming back home here, pull on the strap, pull, 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 and let's release. Very nice. All right, join me for this one final. This I learned is a Qigong practice. Feet are apart. We're gonna actually let our pelvis just sort of sink forward and down, so we're just sort of hanging on our legs. Spine is straight, we're lifting through the crown of the head. And then by moving our hips, sort of like the old agitator washers, you'll notice if your arms are super relaxed, they'll just be able to flop around. So we're going to make that hip action, and you can kind of feel it in your feet too. Keep your feet strongly grounded. Just rotate through the hip like this, through the pelvis really, and then you're eventually going to let your arms fly out from your body. So what this does is it creates a succussive action in the shoulders, a little tugging action on the shoulders. And this is very, very stimulating for your synovial membranes in your shoulders. So that's going to help them secrete lubricating fluid and nutrition for your shoulders. So just keep this going. You can do this every day. You could do it 3 times a day. Very, very nourishing for your shoulders. Probably feels okay. Not a strenuous thing, but very, very building for the shoulders, giving them the nutrition they crave. And one more rotation. You could definitely spend a lot longer on this if you want, but I'm going to unwind it and take it down. Whew. And feel free to go into a beautiful resting posture like Savasana now, and just take time to rest, maybe set a timer for Savasana. But I will leave you now, and thank you so much for joining me for this shoulder strengthening posture. If you enjoyed it, please like the video. Feel free to comment or ask questions, and I will address that for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.